Japan is a land of contrasts, where ancient traditions mix with modern technology. At the heart of Japanese culture is Shintoism, a unique and fascinating religion that has been practiced for over 1,500 years. According to recent surveys, approximately 70 to 80% of the Japanese population identifies as Shinto, although many also practice Buddhism and other religions. However, it's important to note that Shintoism in Japan is often more of a cultural and traditional practice rather than a strict religious doctrine, and many Japanese people may participate in Shinto rituals and festivals without considering themselves devout followers of the religion. Additionally, there are also many different sects and forms of Shintoism in Japan. Shintoism, meaning the way of the gods, is a religion that has deep roots in Japanese history and culture. Its origins can be traced back to the worship of nature, spirits, and ancestors in ancient Japan. The religion was also influenced by Chinese Taoism and Confucianism. Shintoism became recognized as the official religion of Japan in 1868, and it continues to be an important aspect of Japanese society today. It is a polytheistic religion, which means that Shintoism believes in many gods and goddesses. These deities are known as kami. The term kami can be translated to mean divine, spirit, or deity. It is believed to be present in all aspects of nature, such as mountains, rivers, and trees. Kami is also believed to be present in human beings, and ancestors are often worshipped as kami. For example, the kami of a particular mountain might be revered as a protector of the local community, while the kami of a particular crop might be thanked and offered prayers for a bountiful harvest. Kami is often seen as both benevolent and capricious, and is believed to have the power to influence the natural world and the lives of humans. As a result, many Shinto practices revolved around showing respect and reverence to Kami through offerings, prayers, and rituals. While many kami are associated with specific locations or natural elements, others are associated with historical figures or ancestors. In some cases, kami may also be associated with specific Shinto deities who are worshipped at Shinto shrines throughout Japan. Overall, the concept of kami is a central part of Shintoism, representing the divinity and sacredness of the natural world, as well as the interconnection between humans, nature, and the divine. Shintoism emphasizes purity and cleanliness, and this is reflected in its rituals and practices. For example, purification rituals are performed before entering a shrine, and visitors must cleanse themselves by washing their hands and mouth. Shintoism also places great importance on harmony with nature and the environment. This is reflected in the belief that all living things are connected and that everything has a spirit or soul. Shintoism has several creation myths, but one of the most famous is the story of Izanami and Izanagi, the divine couple who was said to have created the islands of Japan and the gods who inhabit them. According to the myth, Izanami and Izanagi were given the task of creating the land of Japan by the god of heaven. To do so, they stood on the floating bridge of heaven and used the spear to stir the ocean below. When they lifted the spear, the salt water dripping from its tip formed the island of Onogoro. Izanagi and Izanami then descended to Onogoro and built a palace for themselves, where they began to create the various islands of Japan. They did so by circling the central pillar of their palace in opposite directions, with Izanagi circling to the right and Izanami to the left. As they did so, they created the islands and the gods who inhabit them. However, their creation process was not without its difficulties. While creating the island of Honshu, Izanami was burned by the heat of the island's creation and died. Izanagi was grief-stricken by her death and went to the land of the dead to try to bring her back. However, he was unable to do so, and upon seeing her decayed body, he fled in horror, bringing death and impurity into the world. Despite this tragedy, the story of Izanami and Izanagi remains an important part of Shinto mythology and continues to influence Japanese culture and society today. It is said to represent the balance and harmony of creation as well as the fragility and impermanence of life. Amaterasu is considered the most important deity in Shintoism, and her significance can be seen in a variety of areas, from mythology and religion to politics and culture. In Shinto mythology, Amaterasu is the goddess of the sun and the universe and is said to be responsible for creating and maintaining the world. She is also believed to be the ancestor of the imperial family, and her descendants are said to have ruled Japan for over 1,500 years. Amaterasu's significance is also evident in religious practice. She is worshipped at numerous Shinto shrines throughout Japan, including the Ise Grand Shrine, which is considered the most important Shinto shrine in Japan. Many of these shrines are dedicated specifically to Amaterasu and offer prayers and offerings in her honor. The imperial family, who claim descent from Amaterasu, have traditionally served as the symbolic center of Japanese nationality identity. The emperor, in particular, is often seen as a living representative of Amaterasu and the guardian of Japanese culture and tradition. Traditional Japanese art often incorporates Amaterasu and other Shinto deities, and her role as the goddess of the sun has inspired numerous myths and legends. In modern popular culture, Amaterasu has also appeared in video games and other media, further cementing her place as an important cultural icon. Shintoism remains an important aspect of Japanese culture and society today, and its impact can be seen in a variety of areas, including politics, society, and culture. In politics, Shintoism continues to play a role in shaping the national identity of Japan. While Shintoism is no longer the official state religion, it remains closely associated with the emperor and the imperial family, who play an important symbolic role in Japanese politics. The emperor's ceremonial duties, such as performing Shinto rituals and visiting Shinto shrines, serve to reinforce the connection between Shintoism and Japanese national identity. Many Japanese people participate in traditional Shinto practices, such as visiting shrines, performing purification rituals, and celebrating festivals like the New Year and the Harvest Festival. Shinto shrines also serve as important community gathering places, hosting a variety of cultural events and festivals throughout the year. Shintoism also has an impact on Japanese culture, influencing art, literature, and music. Traditional Japanese art and architecture often incorporate Shinto motifs and themes, such as the use of natural materials like wood and stone, and the incorporation of natural elements like water and trees. Shintoism also continues to influence Japanese literature and poetry, with many writers and poets drawing inspiration from Shinto beliefs and practices. During the Meiji period of 1868 to 1912, Japan underwent a period of modernization and westernization, during which the government sought to unify the country under a single national identity. In this context, Shintoism was promoted as the national religion of Japan, and the government began to use it as a tool for promoting nationalism and loyalty to the emperor. During World War II, the Japanese government continued to promote Shintoism as a way of inspiring loyalty and obedience among the Japanese people. The emperor was portrayed as a divine figure, and the war effort was presented as a holy mission to defend Japan and the emperor from foreign aggression. After the war, Japan underwent a period of occupation and reconstruction under the guidance of the Allied powers, which sought to break the close relationship between Shintoism and the Japanese government. In 1945, the Japanese government issued the Shinto Directive, which separated Shintoism from the state and prohibited government involvement in religious affairs. This separation was further reinforced by the new Japanese Constitution, which was adopted in 1947 and established a secular state with freedom of religion. Under the new constitution, Shintoism became a purely religious practice, and the emperor was stripped of his divine status and became a symbolic figurehead with no political power. Shintoism has had a significant impact on Japanese architecture, particularly in the design of Shinto shrines. Shinto shrines are built in a distinctive style that reflects the religion's emphasis on purity and simplicity. They are usually made of wood and feature a distinctive torii gate at the entrance, which marks the boundary between the sacred and the profane. Many Japanese buildings, including temples and private homes, also incorporate elements of Shinto architecture, such as the use of natural materials, open floor plans, and the integration of indoor and outdoor spaces. These design features reflect Shintoism's belief in the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of maintaining harmony with nature. Shintoism has inspired a wealth of literature in Japan, including myths, legends, and folk tales that have been passed down through generations. Some of the most famous works of Japanese literature, such as the Tale and Genji and the Pillow Book, draw on Shinto themes and motifs, such as the importance of purity and the role of women in society. Shintoism has also inspired modern-day literature in Japan, particularly in the form of magical realism. Many contemporary Japanese writers use Shintoism's belief in the spirit of nature and the supernatural as a backdrop for their stories, exploring themes such as an identity, memory, and the search for meaning in life. In conclusion, Shintoism has had a profound influence on the art, architecture, and literature of Japan, shaping the way Japanese people perceive their environment and their place in the world. Its emphasis on purity, harmony with nature, and the interconnectedness of all things has inspired countless works of art and literature and continues to influence Japanese culture to this day. Shinto shrines are central to the practice of Shintoism in Japan, and they host a wide range of rituals and ceremonies throughout the year. Some of the most important ceremonies include Hatsumode. Hatsumode is the first shrine visit of the new year, which is considered a very important occasion in Japan. People typically visit the shrine during the first few days of January to pray for good fortune and health in the coming year. They may also buy amulets and charms to protect themselves from evil spirits. Kagura is a type of traditional Shinto dance that is performed at shrines to entertain and honor the kami, or spirits. The dance is accompanied by traditional music and may involve elaborate costumes and props. Kagura performances are typically held during festivals and other special occasions. Torin no Ichi is a festival that is held in November to pray for prosperity and good fortune. People visit the shrine to purchase kumade, or rakes decorated with gold and silver ornaments, which are believed to attract wealth and good luck. These are just a few examples of the many rituals and ceremonies that are performed at Shinto shrines in Japan. Each shrine may have its own unique traditions and practices, but they all share a deep reverence for the kami and a commitment to maintaining harmony with the natural world. In recent years, there has been a growing trend in Japan towards new forms of Shintoism that emphasize personal spiritual growth and self-improvement. One reason for the emergence of these new forms of Shintoism is the decline of traditional religious institutions in Japan. In response to these trends, some Shinto practitioners have developed new forms of Shintoism that emphasize personal growth and self-improvement. These new forms of Shintoism often incorporate elements of Western psychology and spirituality, as well as traditional Shinto practices like purification rituals and ancestor worship. One example of this trend is the Issei Shinto movement, which was founded in the 19th century and has since spread throughout Japan. Another example is Tenrikyo, a Shinto-based new religious movement that was founded in the 19th century and has become one of the largest religions in Japan. Tenrikyo emphasizes the importance of personal growth and self-improvement through practices like self-reflection, gratitude, and helping others. Overall, the emergence of new forms of Shintoism that focus on personal spiritual growth and self-improvement reflects a broader trend in Japan towards individualism and self-expression. As Japanese society continues to change and evolve, it is likely that we will see more new forms of spirituality emerging that reflect these changing values and priorities.